And that's when I got introduced to brainwave entrainment. And I thought, finally, something that crosses the I, crosses the T's and dots the I's. But when I tried what existed, it didn't help, didn't do anything. Something nagged inside my brain and said, it should have helped. So I started modifying it myself. And when I was ready to test my modifications, it took me a month to get my courage up because the first 2 weeks I was terrified. What if it doesn't work? This is really my last chance. Keep in mind, I've been researching more or less in a manner of speaking for 40 years. I was out of options. When I finally got to the point where I was ready to try something I invented, I was terrified. What if it didn't work? And then the next 2 weeks, so I got over that after 2 weeks, but the next 2 weeks, what if it did work? What if it made it worse? At which point I was in the middle of a super depression and I said, screw it, who cares? I'm just going to do it. When I did it, it was a half-hour recording. I knew what I had done to the recording to make it how I thought it should work based on what I had understood from my studies of neurobiology, neurochemistry, behavior, perception, psychology, and I tried it. Right away, oh, by the way, one of the things I forgot to mention is one of my symptoms were thousands of voices in my head all the time. Now, these aren't voices like in Hollywood, where it's a voice telling, like, a good angel and a bad angel or something telling me to do bad things. This was like being in a crowd of tens of thousands of people and they were all talking at the same time. That's what it was like. So I ran this session, that's what I call it, when I put on my headphones and I listened to a recording. And it felt like half an hour, and it was half an hour. And I kind of paid attention to all the little nuancy type things I did to it, and it didn't matter. I noticed all of them. When it was over, I didn't feel any different at all. And I started getting really, really depressed because I thought this was my last chance. But then one voice came to me, not a million voices, but one voice came to me and it said, did you really expect 1/2 hour listening is going to change 40 years? You're going to have to do this more often, and you're going to have to do it regularly and consistently. And I thought to myself, yeah, that makes sense. That was a massive change because normally I would have gone back into a super depression for 6 weeks. But I didn't. The other thing is, within 5 minutes of the recording ending, I started hearing the voices coming back. Those were 2 massive changes. And that's what got me into it. I know it's a rather long-winded story, but I thought that it was important to understand the basis of why everything happened. So understand that as a result of all of this, I don't believe in truth or fact.